Welcome back to another episode of All the Mod 7. Today, we are going to be taking that mob farm that we literally just finished working on and using those drops to make the coolest Inferium farm. We're going to replace all of this. While this is automated and kind of cool, we're going to replace all of this with something that is insanely fast and can be upgraded to be even faster. I'm going to show you how to do all of this today as that sun starts to set. Hello? Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you are still around hanging out. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. We're slowly growing. We're going to take over the modded scene. And I'm going to be posting, a couple of speedrun stuff here soon enough. So get ready for that. Okay. So how we're going to do this. First off, this is a perfect size. This is a 9x9, I believe. We have a row. No, this is a... we got to replace these real quick. Oh. Okay, so this is a 9x9, right? Right? Should be getting everything? Think so? Probably, maybe so. This is our 9x9. We're going to make this a ton better. And before we can do that, we're going to need to grab a couple of things to make a lily pad of fertility. We're actually going to need a bunch of these, about 81 of them to be exact. So we're going to need to get all the things that it takes to make these things. We're going to need some catalyzing glands. We're going to need some rib bones. We're going to need those slime pearls that I mentioned in last episode, and we're going to need some green dye. Now, I do believe we do have the catalyzing glands. Let me double check. Yep, we have 10.1K. Do we have the rib bones? We have 3, so we're going to have to get a couple more of those. And lastly, we're going to need that green dye. So check this out. Just like I mentioned in the last episode, you can get certain items that you didn't even know that you could get. I mean, we could really just do the nature essence and do that. But instead of that, we're actually going to go grab us a desert creeper because we are going to need to make some lily pads. It's either that or we go... Let's go see what it takes to make a lily pad. Can we just make it with nature essences? Okay, maybe we just make a nature seed. Okay, you could go and get that desert creeper and a lily pad if you want to make, but for me, because I've already got this all set up, I'm going to just use the nature essences, which are super easy to make these nature seeds. It just takes some nature... Well, it actually looks like we're going to need some cactus to begin with. We don't have... Okay, so maybe we're going to need some cactus anyway, because we got to make this nature's... So we're going to need to go to a desert, and we're going to need to get us some cactus, and we're also going to need to get us some lily pads. So those two things have to happen. So first, let's go home. And let's go find us a desert. 360... Wait, do I actually live next to a desert? This is the weirdest desert I've ever seen in my life. But it looks like we got one up here to the right. Let's go up there. Oh, here's a desert. Well, there's some cactuses here. Ale. What is going on over here? Oh, apparently this place is getting raided. But from where? I've never seen this in my life. How can y'all get raided? There's no way for them to get up there unless they have a jetpack. What have you done? This is a raid? What do these guys drop? They're dropping, like, and dying. Is that it? Oh, the bar's filling at the top. I've never done this, so I kind of want to do this. Where are they going to spawn at? Over here? Is this where they were? Oh, here they are. Are these Vindicators? Dude, we could have just got the Vindicators from right here. Look, all these emeralds. Man, what? I could have just gotten that. What is that? What is that? What is this? What is a Ravager? You look wild. So that's how you get saddles. How long are these raids? What? What is a Vex? Okay. All right. Cool. All right, cool. I guess now back to us finding the stuff for the fertile essence, I guess. That's a chunky beat. Okay, we gotta find a swamp. 2,000. Okay, we're just gonna go out here, I guess. This is one thing I absolutely hate about flying out in places, because basically you can't do anything until the world loads after you've flown out here. Like my PC's just like, okay, time to chug along and take like 3 hours to load everything. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a lot of chickens. I could have used y'all. Okay, let's make us some of those nature essence seeds. Oh, we need a couple of more pumpkins to make it. Let's replace these real quick. Make some. Oh, okay. Can't do that. Can't do that. Do we really even need the I don't even think we need the pumpkins. We could make those seeds, but you know what? Screw it. We're not making the seeds. Screw the seeds. Instead, we're just gonna grow them like this. Okay, while that is growing, there's a pumpkin! While that's growing, we're gonna go ahead and clean all of this chest up, because this chest is full of stuff we really don't need. All of my like growing stuff that I made, I put in here. And I kind of don't want that. So this is okay. I can do this right here. This is fine. I'm perfectly okay for this being right here. We're going to stick this back on top and we're going to slam back in some Inferium here and this stack upgrade, right? Let this thing get stacked up. Now, the cool thing is we're going to make us some of those lily pads. Now, we don't actually have the rib bones to make the lily pads just yet, but we're pretty close. So we need 3 of these. We need the green dye, which is just smelted cactus, which we can grab. So let's go get those withered bones. Let's go ahead and grab some of those. It's just a skeleton, which I believe we can just easily grab a skeleton. First, let's see if I have a skeleton. Let's see if this is a skeleton spawner. Oh, zombie. Oh, that's not right. Boop. Don't hit me. You see a chicken around here? Where's that chicken at? Oh, look, perfect. Bam. How much slime stuff do we have? Okay, we get rid of our slime spawner. We just get rid of that real quick because we don't really actually need it right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and come over here. Well, kind of want to just get rid of the Vindicator, to be honest with you. That's the cool thing about these mobs, the mob spawners, is you just hit it with an egg and it just keeps all the everything else. Like all the upgrades and stuff stay in it. So if I just wanted to switch mobs at any time, I just swap it. Just get a couple of skeletons real quick. We're just gonna have to keep this off for now, which is okay. I'll just have to switch it back later. Just gotta not forget. All right, we have enough of these. We do. Oh no. All right, let's go over here and throw this in here to smelt this down into some dye here. And now I believe we should be able to make these. Okay, so fertile essence here. Bam. Should be able to make these if I put all this stuff up in here. 2 stacks of this. This works. Except we're gonna need more than 2 stacks. Oof, we need like a lot more than this. That's okay. We got the cactus and stuff growing still. So how we're gonna set this up? So first off, these lily pads of fertilities are fertilities. Wow. The lily pads of fertility are actually pretty cool. So if you wanted to test this, so basically if we come over and we place this right here on this piece of water, this works in a 9x9x4 area all the way around it. So 9 blocks out, 9 blocks up, all right, 9 blocks that way, and then up. Oh God, I'm flying. All right, just to be clear, just because I looked this up to test it, the lily pad of fertility actually only does 6 blocks. So the block that it's on, the block that it's under, so this block right here, right, the one that's considered the lily pad, the one under it, which is considered water, and then we have 4 blocks above this. So if we took, let's take some stone here, and we put this above this, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how many blocks that this lily pad will be able to cover. So because it covers in a 9x9 area and they stack, it's actually pretty cool. So realistically speaking, the way you could set this up is this could be a seed right here, and then this could be a seed right here. So as long as that first level was there, you can make all the rest of these all the way up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and it would cover 2 of these rows. So just to test this, we're going to replace this with some dirt and just get out a regular seed here. Of course, we're going to need to get some water here so this will stay up. And then what we could do to test this is we can just come down here and we can get some more water, some more lily pads, and place it there. And if you're like me and you forget to turn on the particles to show this, make sure you do that, because now with these on, you'll start seeing the particles and what they affect. See, it's a giant range. And if it works properly, it should actually hit up here. Yep, see the little particles? So with this setup, we could effectively have 2 rows of seeds being grown at the same time. Now that we understand the concepts, let's start making it. All right, so apparently we got fish living in here too. Cool. Beautiful. And now we need to make some really good farmland. Wonder if we can get up to Inferium. We probably don't have the stuff for that. So let's see how far we can get with what we have. Just so you know, with this master infusion crystal, you can actually take and do like this and make the blocks. So as we see, we have 8 Inferium blocks. We should be able to make this, but we're going to continue going, see how far we can go up. All right, that leaves us 6 of these left, and this is for one, like just a singular piece, right? So this is what we need. Inferium essence, a hoe, plus some dirt, and that'll give us the farmland. So as long as we don't break this and waste it, I think we should be okay. So let's just make sure that we don't break it. Jesus Christ, that's huge. So I'm going to just place this above like this. And that's where our farmland's going to be. We do have to have a place for water, and it has to be above one of these places over here, so we got to keep that in mind. And I'm going to show you something you could do. I'm going to place this down, and then this will give us back this. And then what you could do is you could actually just place a trap door right here, so that way the water doesn't go through. And then when you grab your water buckets out, you could just place the water bucket right here. And then you could put your lily pad of fertility right on top. Oh God, no, what have I done? Should be able to put this right on top. I messed up. See? And now this works like this. Okay, so this is only gonna go 4 blocks out this way, so we're gonna need another one like right here. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this cardboard box thing, it's so I can keep the Inferium when I pick it up. So if I right click it and then break it. Now all of this should be getting watered. The only thing is now the centerpiece also has to be water. But this should be fine like this. Let's go ahead and put our lily pads back. Now we get to plant all of these Inferium seeds. Now the harvester just doesn't work fast enough to get everything. The harvest pylon, it just doesn't work fast enough. We just grow too fast now that this harvester just doesn't want to grab anything. So let's see if we can fix that. You know what? We could definitely speed this up, and I think it's time we start using create. I actually don't use create very often. I've only used it a handful of times. So this should actually be pretty fun. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna hop into the create quest, and I'm gonna click on here and I'm gonna click on the wrench. This will give me the wrench starting out, which is pretty nice. It's really just some gold plates, some cogwheels, and a stick. Nothing too crazy here. And we're gonna get started by making us some things for us to make this work. So we're gonna need a lot of different things. So let's go back to the house. And from here, I actually want to go ahead and grab some recipes. So inside of my pattern grid recipe thing here, we're gonna go ahead and grab all of these recipes. So bam, this is a radial chassis, which is pretty nice, just some logs and some alloys. These alloys are actually pretty easy. This is just some andesite and some iron nuggets. Those are both relatively easy. Super glue, this is some iron plates, iron nuggets, and some slime balls. That's pretty easy. The casings, we actually will have to make this ourselves by hand. You can get a deployer and everything to make it work, but you just basically do it by hand. You strip a log, you right click with the alloy, and it gives you andesite casings. We can actually automate that, but I'm not going to do it for right now. Let's go ahead and grab this water wheel recipe right here, and as well as that large cog wheel inside of here. Let's grab that one. And then there's also a recipe right here for a cog wheel. Let's grab that one. And now we just need a shaft, and that's pretty much it. Take it back. I like making this gearbox right here. I like getting the vertical gearbox, which is just a gearbox turned sideways, believe it or not. But you need all this other extra stuff to be able to do it, like an andesite casing, right? And then last but not least, we need this right here, which is the mechanical harvester recipe. This is what we're going to use to take out all of our stuff and put it into a chest. So that's going to be important. And that should be just about everything. So let's shove all these recipes in here. Okay, since we're here, let's go ahead and make some of those andesite casings here. So we need any kind of logs, doesn't matter. And we need some of those andesite. We need some of that andesite alloy. So we can just go ahead and make a bunch of these because I have all the andesite and stuff for it. So this should give us a quest complete right here, which gives us more andesite, which is cool. So now what we do is we place this, we right click with the axe, and then we can just right click with the alloy, and this will give us this right here, which is pretty cool. There we go. We got our first andesite casing. If we wanted to automate this, which I guess I could show you guys how to do real quick. So I do want to tap into this network right here. So we'll set this up over here. So let's say that we want to set this up right here. This could be where we set it up at. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a constructor, and it needs it needs to face up. So we're going to go down right here. We're going to put this right there. And then we need a destructor. Okay. Put this down. Inside of the destructor, we want to make sure we set this to a whitelist and set this to andesite casing. Okay. And then in the bottom here, we want to make sure we set the constructor to be a oak log. And this basically makes it where it will place an oak log. All we need now is that modular router to right click this. So I'm going to break this block. I'm going to place this right here so it's facing this way, and then we can place that log back. So inside of here, we want to set up this activator module. We want this thing to say right in front, right here, no sneak clicking, just a right click. And then we want to give it an X. And give it this X right here. And that way it says, okay, it's only going to use this right here, this X. Now, if I come in here and I click this and throw this in here. I see what I messed up. I was supposed to right click in the front right here. I didn't actually select the front. So if we throw this back in here and then we put the axe in there, as you see, it does this. We're going to need to make myself another axe, but this is great. We will also need another activator module so that way we can get this thing to turn into andesite casing. So let's do that. Same thing here. I could actually just place this looking towards me like this. We're going to come over here and do left, and then I'm going to grab and put this andesite alloy in here. So that way it tries to right click with that. If I put this in here and then stick this in here, this should activate and right click or click to the left. Let's double check to make sure this is set up right. We want to set this to whitelist. That's what we did wrong. There we go. And then now once we hook this up to our system, this should automatically make us some casings. So let's connect it. Okay. Perfect. And I'm just going to let this craft for a little while. I don't have infinite wood right now, but this will be fine for now. And while that's working, we can go ahead and start making the rest of everything that we need. So we're going to need a radial chassis, which it makes us 3, which is nice. We're going to need some of this super glue, which we need this right here. And there's our super glue. We need a water wheel, which actually we could just go ahead and do create, and we can just craft all of this just by clicking. So let's go ahead and make us about... Let's do 5 water wheels, which we're missing some spruce slabs. It takes slabs to make these. Let's grab us some cog wheels, both small and large. We're going to need some shafts, and then let's go ahead and make these gearboxes. And for the time being, just because I don't want this to create forever, I'm going to turn this off by activating the redstone mode here. So that way it doesn't continuously make casings forever. We're going to need about 9 of these harvesters here. So I think I should have about everything to make that, and we're good to go. One cool thing you can do, just so you know, you can actually just hold the tilde button to do shapeless and just right click for a while at any time they're done, and it should just give you a bunch that are ready to go. See how I'm just holding it right here? It's just doing that giant AoE to grab everything that's in the area. It's kind of nice. So, because I've set this up with the lily pads down here, we're actually going to set everything that we want up top here. The first thing we need to do with create is we need to make some power, or create some power, or whatever. And create uses something called stress, which is kind of cool. Kinetic stress is what their power system is. And since we have 5 of these water wheels, I'm actually going to go ahead and grab all 10 of them so we can make it look cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build a little bit of this, and then I will show you once we get that done. Okay, I'm going to turn these particles off, but the first thing I did was build a water wheel section over here. So water wheels are pretty much the basic way of creating some stress, and you can't see how much stress this thing has or how much this is creating unless you have specific items. It is inside of this right here. You can actually look at it with the engineer's goggles. This is how you're able to see things. So let's go ahead and make one of these. So with these on, I think we can actually just put them straight on. Let's see. Let's put these right here, and let's see. That does work. This is working at 192 stress units at the current speed. So the way I actually have this set up is pretty simple. Oh God, So the way I have this set up is actually pretty simple. I have a little place in the back right here with water that flows. These are water source blocks that flow outwards this way. And the way I have that done is underneath them right here is a solid block. if you don't place this block here and this water goes out like this, it won't actually go out, it'll go just straight down, and then in turn it'll make the water wheel spin the other direction. You don't want that. You see how the water wheel is angled up like this and it's towards, like the water or the little things are facing towards the water? That makes it where it spins a little bit better. So the alternative is if you place these things down. So if I come over here and just place it right here, see how now it's doing this? Take your wrench, shift click it, you can break it. You should be able to flip it by taking your wrench, going on the side, just right clicking it. See, that rotated it a little bit. That's how you fix it. So this is what it looks like when it's set up like this. The water pushes it this way. Now I'm going to set the other one up, and I'm going to set it up wrong just to show you how less you would be getting. All right, so now if we look at this, these are facing to the right. Okay, if we come over here and we look at the way these are angled the same exact way, and we're going to test how this works. So we put this down. This is at 128. We're gonna actually have to go like this just to block that off until we finish creating this. Okay, so we see this is at 128. This is at minus whatever. So let's go ahead and get the rest of these. So these are all now working at 128, which is actually slower than what we have over here, which is 192. So let's fix that. Go ahead and pick up our water and let's place it. So place this properly. Again, we want to place it just like this. See how we want the water to kind of scoop in there and push it that way. That's kind of the goal here. Just like that. Now we place our water down. And now we're at 192 SU. Pretty cool. We don't actually need a whole lot more than this. Like this is not really necessary, but we do need a way to pull this stuff out. So I'm going to just do like this on these sides here, open these sides so we can grab all of the stuff we need for it. It's the same thing over here. And we're going to use this so we can go ahead and make some way of farming this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take all of this stuff out of here. So let me take all the time that it takes to do that. And now we want to set this up. So, okay, let's start doing this. First off, I forgot we needed the mechanical bearing. It's one of the things that you got to do. They block in front of, so basically they attach and then they spin. You got to have one of these things to make it work. We're going to need one of these, and I wonder if you could put these things upside down. Let's put this here. Let's put the mechanical bearing up here, and I wonder if it can work like that. I wonder if we could rotate it. It looks like we could rotate it. Yep, there we go. Okay, so mechanical bearing here, and this is going to be what spins everything. So for the time being, we are going to have to build us a platform out here, and then let's go ahead and take that super glue that we have right here. Oh, I didn't mean to do this. And I also forgot we're also going to need some linear chassis here, or chassis here, and we're going to go out with these. We need to go sideways with them, not like this. There we go. And then we're going to go out with them like this. We got to make sure on this backside, we're going to super glue these things here. And then we're going to put our harvesters right here. Okay, easy. This chest is on this backside here. We're going to need to super glue this down, I believe. Because you want to connect. Basically, the super glue just connects everything together. So if I right click here, and then I put that chest down right there. Just right here. This will super glue the chest onto this so it becomes a part of this. So what this basically does now is these will harvest as it spins. This middle part isn't actually going to work. But these will harvest as it spins, and it will gather everything around it and put it in that chest in the backside. But we need to give it some kind of power. So how we're going to do this is we're actually going to connect it up here. So I'm going to take that vertical gearbox that I have here, because this is kind of where it's at right here. Put that right there, and then now we can go out. We'll take our shafts and we'll go out just like this. And then now we want to connect to these things. So there's some cool things that you could do. First off, we're just going to connect it like normal before I do all of that. So let me extend these out. And then now we're going to need to connect them with some cogwheels. So place a cogwheel down, and then if you look at it and look to the left, you can do like this. One thing to note on this side is if you look, these are actually spinning a opposite direction of these things. So what we can do, let's see if we can get these things to spin together. So you can actually put gears like this to make them spin at different speeds if you would like to. So like, let's say we break this. So because these two are connected like this, you see how this slows this down right here? If we take and we put a small cogwheel in front of it and then put a large cogwheel on the side, it slows that speed down, right? So let's break this and let's do the opposite. If we put a large cogwheel into a small cogwheel here, so let's go this way, it'll speed it up a little bit. So if we copy that a couple of times, it'll make it a whole lot faster. So instead of having a ton of cogwheels across like this, while very cool, we're actually going to just use some gearboxes for this. So a gearbox allows you to go into different directions like this. So now we could just take and make some shafts here and go across. Place one over here just like I just did. And now we can take another vertical gearbox right here in the middle and then connect these things. See? Just like that. How cool is that? This one has to spin a different direction, so we're going to have to fix that. So going to put a gearbox right here. Now it'll spin a different direction. Now we can take that large cogwheel and stick it on there. And now we're spinning the opposite direction of what we need. Cool. And if you do like I did, you could always just take with an empty hand. You just right click this center chassis right here. Bearing, hello. Should be able to right click and it should stop it. So let's fix this. Rotation, baby. Now let's try that again. There we go. Now we need to extend it a little bit longer. See, it's already picking this stuff up, which is pretty dope. Put that stack upgrade in there. And we need to extend this a little bit longer. Grab another linear chassis here. And then this time we're going to stick on some more super glue on this back side here. And now this, when right clicked with an empty hand, should work. Now you see how all of this turned into normal farmland? Yeah, that kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. This kind of sucks. Before I say I'm done with this, let's make this look a little bit prettier. Okay, if we want to make this thing pretty, there's a couple of things that we need to do. Yes, I destroyed some more of our Inferium farmland or Insanium farmland. That's going to be okay. So if we want to make this prettier, we actually also have to figure out a way for us to interact with this without, like once it starts moving, you can't interact with this. So you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need 2 of these portable storage interfaces, okay? We want to make sure that this sticks on the end here, which I'm not sure that the chassis will let it stick on the end here. We can double check by seeing this right here. But we're going to place this here, make sure that this is facing out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a block here and I'm going to place another portable interface right there. We're going to come up top and we're going to rotate it so that way it goes to this block right here. And then we're going to connect this to a chest. So this up top like this. And then we grab a chest, which we have one right here, and we place it here. We will take this right here and shift right click, put ourselves an item pipe upgrade in here. And then whenever we start this, hopefully this will connect and work. Oh, it did not connect on that side. But okay, so let's make sure this connects. We want to make sure this is super glued right here, which it is not. Well, that's probably why, because it wasn't super glued, even though it says that it's super glued. All right, it's super glued now. Stick it back on there and then let's rotate it. See, that wrench actually shows us what's connected here, which is kind of cool. All right, so connecting out, and now it should work if we get an empty hand, right click. This should work. It stops, connects, goes blah, 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 and then it shoots the inventory full here. So go ahead and do a stack upgrade, bam, and then it'll connect. Now, this does not look pretty. I'm not gonna lie, this does not look pretty at all. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop it, and then I'm going to take this portable storage here, take it off, take that super glue and make sure that it's done up here. And then let's see if we can get this to connect to the top here. You know why it won't connect to the top? Because these are linear chassis. So we would need something like a radial chassis to work. So what I'm going to try and do here is instead we're going to shift click this, and I'm going to put a radial chassis here. So that way this thing right here should actually be connected. And then we should be able to scroll over our wrench and see that it's connected here. And then we should be able to put this here. And if we scroll over our wrench, we can see it's connected. This is connected. And maybe, just maybe, we rotate this. This will connect. We could always check it by just right-clicking. And it does work. Sweet. So stop it right here. So this way we can move this portable storage interface over one so it doesn't look so ugly. And instead of connecting this to a chest, let's see if we could actually just connect it straight to our refined storage system. All right, now that that's set up, let's hope it works. Let's right-click here. Connects, empties the chest out. Am I getting Inferium from this? Pretty sure it's working. Let's get this stuff cleared up. All right, and now we have an automated Inferium farm that is fast, and it only uses a couple of materials. Oh, I see a seed missing right here. Oh, boop. It only uses materials that you could basically get with the mob farms. Now, granted, this does take a little bit of stuff. You take some iron and stuff that you're going to need, which you can get from a mob farm. You're going to need some andesite, which you can literally just mine from the walls. And that's it. And then you have a create auto farm here, which is pretty cool. And it's actually extremely fast. And we could actually put some more stuff out here because these are 9x9s, right? So this thing is actually going to come out in a radius of 5. So we could actually make a radius of 5 star from the center here and use all of that and make all of that into something that it can farm out. And it'd look really cool. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that and make this look real pretty, and then we'll call it there. I just realized these goggles make my eyeballs look super weird. I was like, is there something wrong? Hold on, let me put that back on again. Hold on a second. I look stoned. What is going on? So, now that I've spruced this thing up and made it look a little bit better, we are done for the day. This is an amazing farm for us to have to get our Inferium going, as we, you know, kind of need a little bit of farms here and there. Just get it kind of going for a little bit, which is kind of nice. It's actually kind of cool to have all this stuff like this and to have it just continuously giving us a ton of Inferium over time. It's automatically collected, automatically put it in our system, and I can replace any one of those seeds with anything that I want to grow, and it'll do it. We can also upgrade it a little bit further by putting those like growth accelerators. There's no need for all that. I ain't doing all that. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna do all that. And you can probably actually make multiple of those harvesters with this water wheel setup. I don't know if it was too much, if it was enough, if it was not needed, but I did it because I thought it was cool. Next episode, I will be showing y'all some early game strategies that you can use to get a ton of materials. I know a lot of people might use the builder and once they get a little bit of power and maybe a system set up, but there's something way more OP than that. I just want to show you guys. Let's just say next episode is going to be explosive. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this episode, make sure you hit that like, hit subscribe. Until next episode. Bye!